Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So basically I forgot to film an intro to this video, hence I'm doing a voiceover, but this is the finished hair and makeup look. If you guys want to see how I created this, it's so simple, then just keep on watching. Okay, so before we begin, obviously I have my hair tied up, I have nothing on at the moment. Excuse the manky dirty hairband, it's the only one that I could find. I usually have that little pink one that I kind of wash after I use it, but couldn't find it, so this one's just gonna have to do for today. And also before we begin, I do have fake tan on my face and I've just recently tinted my eyebrows in case you think that I've kind of cheated. I'm going to New York on Tuesday, so obviously I'm kind of prepping for that. That's why I have these done. So anyway, into the makeup. So to start off the base, I'm going to mix two new products that I only picked up when I was in London recently, and so far I'm really impressed with them. And it is the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow, which is like an illuminating primer, and the Light Wonder foundation in the shade 7. I feel like my voice sounds different today. Anyway, and my new favourite brush to use while using foundations is this one here. It doesn't have a name on it, I can't remember where it's from. I think it's from Crown Brush, but Charlotte Tilbury has a foundation brush that looks exactly like this, and that's what made me remember that I had this. So if you wanted, you could go into Charlotte Tilbury and pick up that one, because I'm not sure where this one I have is from. So basically what I'm doing is I've mixed the primer and the foundation together and I'm applying it onto my skin at the same time, just because I like the effect that it gives. This foundation is definitely more of a light to medium coverage, I'd say more so on the light side. But because I have fake tan on my face, I don't really mind having a lighter coverage foundation, because I usually just kind of use foundation to match my fake tan if I don't have fake tan on my face, or to kind of even out my skin tone. But when I have tan on my face, it kind of does a lot of that for me. I also have a bit of a rash on my chest, so that's why I'm wearing this jumper, to kind of cover it, because my neck and my chest is going to look a complete different colour to my face. I actually cannot take myself serious with this really dirty, obnoxious hairband. It's just so big, like it's like a halo around my head. I actually have a few new products that I'm using in this tutorial, because there's a few new ones that I have picked up recently and I've been really liking, so hopefully this will be a bit interesting for you guys. Moving on to concealer, I'm using the Maybelline Eye Eraser in the shade Light and applying this the same areas that I kind of usually do, so under the eyes in an upside down triangle, like so. A little bit on my chin, down the centre of my nose, and in the centre of my forehead. I'm also putting it on my lids to kind of help prime them and even out the skin tone. If you've never tried this concealer, I really recommend it. It's so affordable and it's really, really good. What I like to do is let it sit on my skin for about 30 seconds to a minute, and if I have time obviously, and that helps to kind of thicken up the consistency of it and you get more coverage. So to blend all of this in, I'm going to use my beauty blender as always. A lot of people don't know this, but you have to wet your beauty blender before you use it. I feel like everyone should know it, but they don't. So in case you don't, you need to wet this before you use it. Next product I'm using is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Light, which looks like this. And I'm using a duo fiber pointed brush. You can use the Real Technique setting brush as well, that's really good for this too, because I'm not sure again where this is from. I think this one's from Blank Canvas. And I'm just tapping that in the areas that I applied the concealer to kind of help keep those areas light and to also set them. I feel like my skin is so bad at the moment because I have been kind of drinking a lot recently, and I always notice it in my skin after I've been drinking. Really bad. Next I'm taking my NARS All Day Luminous Powder Foundation, and this is in the shade Stromboli Medium 3. And I'm using this on a Zoeva 106 powder brush and just really lightly dusting this on my face, obviously. So the next step is something that I have been constantly doing recently, and I'm using the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I'm using my beauty blender and applying this under my eyes. I feel like this helps my makeup stay on so much longer, and because I'm applying it with the damp beauty blender, it doesn't like dry out my under eye area the way it usually does. I apply a little bit on my lids, and I feel like if I apply this at the side of my nose, like these kind of areas here, it stops kind of any oil coming throughout the day. And I put a little bit here in the middle of my nose and in the centre of my forehead, so basically where I've applied the concealer. And if you really want to carve out like contour and stuff like that, you can put it here. Next up, I'm using my Benefit Hoola Bronzer and the Glam & Co brush in FB20 and applying this in the areas that I usually kind of contour and bronze. For blush, I'm using my favourite palette ever, and this is from Urban Decay, and it's the Gwen Stefani blush palette. I'm using these two colours here, so Cherry and OC. And I'm just using a Nima blush brush to apply this. So moving on to highlight, this is a new product that I picked up from Kiko, and it's the first product I've ever gotten from that brand. I've heard so much about it, but I went in, I was really hungover and I didn't really know what to pick up. So this is all I got. This is a high pigment eyeshadow in the number 33, and this is so nice as a skin highlighter. It's just perfect, and it was £3.90, so really, really affordable. And I'm using this on my Anastasia highlighter brush. So next up is brows, and as always I'm using my Gerard Cosmetics Brow Bar to Go, and this is in the shade medium, no, it's in the shade Blonde Brunette. I always brush through my eyebrows before I put anything in them. I always mention this just because I think it's really important, and it takes 2 seconds. To start the eyebrows, I'm using the lighter colour here, and I'm using the Inglot, I think it's 13P brush. And the reason being is because this kind of helps give a soft, rounded beginning to the brows instead of a really harsh square-like beginning. Then I'm using an angled brush from Anastasia. This is number 13, I'm pretty sure. It's so old, it's broken and everything. And taking the darker colour through the rest of my eyebrows. I don't need too much because, like I said, I just tinted them. So I was going to go in with my Benefit Precisely My Brow pencil. This is in the shade number 3. I have been loving this recently, but because my eyebrows are tinted, I don't really feel like they need this. So I'm going to skip this step, but just let you know this product is amazing. But I'm going to move on to the Benefit Gimme Brow, and this is in the shade medium because it's the old packaging. They now are numbered instead of shades. So moving on to eyes, I'm going to take the eyeshadows Fawn and Burnt Orange on a large fluffy brush and apply these, by the way they're from Anastasia at Beverly Hills, and apply these with a fluffy brush into the crease of my eye. Then I'm going to take the same colours again but on a smaller brush. This one's from Glam & Co and it's the EB55 brush, and apply this on my lower lashes. No, on my lower lid, lower lash line. What? And I'm just taking this colour on my, what is this called? Lower lid? Under eye area. What? I'm so not with it today. Next I'm taking the shade Red Earth on the same eyeshadow brush that we use for underneath the eye, and just applying this kind of like in the middle to outer corner of our eyes. And feel free to kind of blend that with the burnt orange colour if you feel like it's too hard to blend in. And then just going back in with your large fluffy brush to blend out any edges, and you can add the kind of burnt orange and fawn colours on the brush again if you feel like you've kind of lost the intensity of them. So the next part is my favourite part of this whole look, and I'm taking the Liquid Moon Dust eyeshadow from Urban Decay. This is quite a new product, I'm pretty sure. This one is in the shade Recharged, and I'm applying this on the inner corners of my eyes, but kind of bringing it onto the lid more so than you usually do. So sometimes with an inner corner you just leave it in this area here. So I'm kind of going to bring it in on the inner third of the lid. You'll see now when I'm doing it. But these are amazing. They're so pigmented. After I apply that, I'm just going to take a flat eyeshadow brush and kind of pat that out and help it kind of blend into the other colours on the lid. Then I'm just going to add a second layer of it, and I'm applying this closer to the inner corners of my eye this time. Then to add even more of a highlight, I'm going to take that Kiko eyeshadow from earlier and literally just apply this in the area that you usually apply an inner corner highlight, so just there. Next I'm taking a dark brown eye pencil. This one's from Zoeva and it's in the shade Rock and Roll Bride, and tightlining my eyes. If you don't know what tightlining is, it just means applying it to your upper and lower lash line. Next I'm taking a pencil brush with the eyeshadows also from Anastasia in the shade Beauty Mark and Aubergine, mixing them on my brush and just applying them along my lash line here. So I'm doing this instead of a liquid or gel liner, so if you prefer liquid or gel liner you can do that. Moving on to mascara, I'm using the Benefit Roller Lash as always. This is just a different packaging because it's travel one. So the lashes I'm going to be using are the Sosu Premium Lashes in the style Sarah, and I'm just going to apply these off camera because I cannot for the life of me do it on camera. So this is my hair freshly blow dried. Obviously I had it tied up when I was doing the makeup,
But I also have my extensions clipped in already. The ones that I'm wearing, as always, are the Foxy Lock Seamless clip-ins, and mine are in the shade Latte Blonde. These are the, I'm pretty sure the 20-inch. I'll leave them linked down below anyway, whichever ones I have in today. But I only have 2 of the long wefts clipped in, and I have them clipped in quite high up in my head. And the reason for that is because I wanted them to be pretty much as close to my natural hair length as possible, just because it makes them look a little bit more natural, and I'm liking that look at the moment, so that is why really. So the first thing I do is I literally section my head. First thing I do is I section my hair into 2. This part is all my own natural hair, and this part that's down is my own hair, obviously mixed in with the extensions. Today I'm using the InStyler Max again to curl my hair. I mentioned in a video, I did a whole tutorial on how I use this recently, and I swear to God I use this every single day. My other one just broke because I dropped it, and I have a new one already because I cannot live without this. This is my life at the moment. So I'm going to be using the same technique as I showed you guys in my tutorial. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it down below. The only thing different is I'm not going to be holding in my hair for as long because I want it to be a little bit looser and softer than actual curls. So it's going to be a lot quicker. I'm just going to speed through this part because you've seen me use this already, and if you want to see a more in-depth tutorial, then you can watch the actual tutorial that I put up on my channel. But I'm just showing you guys that this is what I use. And I also just washed my extensions as well, so I feel like whenever I wash these and then curl them, it's just heaven. So this is the finished hair and makeup look. I hope you guys like it and enjoyed this video. I just wanted to do something a little bit different today by using the glitter, because I never really do glitter tutorials, and this is a really easy way of getting glitter on your eyes because it's liquid eyeshadow and there's no mess. It's all done for you, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you did enjoy today's tutorial, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, and if you're not already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will leave a full list of all of the products that I used in the description box, as well as the hair, what fake tan I have on, all of that kind of stuff in the description box, so make sure you guys check that out. But that is it from me. I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!